I had to make my grand entrance. Welcome, everybody, to the Noisy Fox stream. It's baby. I hope all y'all having a good ass day. We got the new drip. Finally, the new drip. You already know how it is. It matches with the necklace. So beautiful. So beautiful. I didn't even notice it matched with the Netflix, with the necklace until I saw it on stream. But this is absolutely fantastic. Now I have something to match with my necklace. So I appreciate that. I hope all y'all having a good ass day, because I had an interesting experience and I want to share it today because it goes in line with everything that I already talk about on here. So let me put on the vibes real quick for y'all. Like I said, I hope all y'all having a good ass day and all of you guys are ready to get in on this. Hold on, where's my vibes? This is okay. Hold on. Let me just do this and then that. See, that's not even, here we go. Okay, so first, let me start with a little experience I had. Yeah, this is the vibes. We good, we good, we good. I had an experience. We just gonna go straight into it. I had an experience where I was at job. You guys know job. Just job. I don't call it work. And I was talking to this young man. He's about 16 years old. We were in a little restaurant setting. And, I do little contract work, so I don't really job at one place. So I bounce around every time. I'm never at one place. But I was talking to this young man, and we were talking about basically life. And I was asking him, hey, why don't you start a business? He was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And I was like, why? And long story short, he said a sentence that really hit me, and it went, because I don't want to do anything better for myself. And after I heard that, it started to make me think, what is going on to these people, these young minds? What is going on with these people's minds? And I'm trying to figure out as to why there is no drive anymore. And I'm not saying it's everybody, but I know if it's one person, if something is affecting one person to be able to say something like this, then there must be a lot of people who probably are having the same thoughts. And this is why I come up on the stream and I address these issues, because they need to be addressed. And that's why the title of this stream is, are you accepting laziness or are you fighting it? And I strongly believe that, you know, people may say, oh, it's depression or it's anxiety or it's fear holding me back. But I really think that the base problem is laziness. And I understand what laziness is, because I myself can say I'm lazy, but it comes to a point where, you know, if you give into that laziness, or if you give into that feeling, oh, I don't want to do something, so I'm just not going to do it, then it doesn't get done. So it's like, you have to program yourself to literally do things even if you don't feel like it. And I feel like this is what laziness is. It's paying too much attention to how you feel in terms of what you want to do, and not paying enough attention to the point that it needs to get done anyway. So it's like, you know, you have an oil change to get done, but you're on the couch and you don't feel like doing it. Well, if you don't feel like doing it and you're going to stay on the couch and the oil change never gets done, then what eventually happens? Your car starts having issues. Laziness is the ability to say, you know what, it got to get done anyway, so fuck the feelings and just get it done. And this is why I believe that this young man said this, and it really hurt my heart, because for me to hear something like that, because I don't want to do something better for myself, I'm all about improvement. I'm all about, going to the next step. How can I get to the next step? And that's always on my mind. And it's always about how quick can I get there. So when someone like that young especially, says something like that, that blew my mind. Because at 16, what I was doing was I was selling snacks in high school. That was the only taste of financial freedom I've ever had in my life. I hired people. I had 9 employees working for me in different parts of school. I had elementary, middle school, and 2 high schools working for me. And let's just say I never worried about money in high school ever. I got my first job at late 18 because I didn't have to work. I had my own thing going on. But it's like, at that age, if you don't spend that time improving, if you don't spend that time starting something so that you can look to your future and look back on your past when you're in that future and say, you know what, I'm glad I did that when I was this age. I'm glad I did that because now I can reap the benefits that I'm manifesting now, that I manifested before, and that I'll manifest in the later, because the improvement never stops. And whenever I come up on these streams and I address these people, or not address these people, rather address these things in my experiences, a lot of what I'm directing these is towards men. I cannot speak for a woman because I myself am not a woman. I believe women and men think differently. I believe women pay more attention to how they feel. But nowadays we live in a world where I think they are trying to program men to pay more attention to how they feel. And I believe this is an imbalance of energies. So when I come on these streams, I'm really talking to the males. To the males. I am talking to you guys. So for someone this young to say, oh, I don't want to do anything better for myself when I mention business, I really believe it stems from laziness. So that's why the title, are you accepting laziness or are you fighting it? Everyone needs to start right now. Everyone needs to start right now and ask themselves these questions. You know what it is that I need to do every day to improve? What is it that I want to live in life? What is it that I want to gain from life? Because I feel like, or not I feel like, I believe, 100% believe, I believe that a lot of people are accepting programming that they're not aware that it's programming in their mind, and they are not letting things that they want to program their mind come in. So it's like, for example, if you want to start a business, you need to start making plans. You need to start making steps. If you want to make more money, you need to start making steps. You need to start having plans. If you want to go and exercise more, you need to start having steps and you need to start having plans. If you accept other programming outside that's just random, even good or bad, but you have no roadmap and you have no programming that you yourself made, and this is the roadmap. This is the roadmap. A roadmap is a program that you run every day, every second, every minute to get where you need to be. It's a map. But if you let something on the outside just tell you random things, but you have no direction, it's like you're going straight through a road, but there's so many forks in the road and you have no idea where you're going. So I feel like we need to have plans. We need to have a roadmap. We need to start making plans because this laziness is not acceptable, especially as a man. If you go through life every day paying attention to how you feel, you're never going to get anything done. And it's going to be just the same thing like what this young man said. And you know, I was asking him, hey, let's just call him Bob. You know, his name's classified. Let's just call him Bob. Hey, Bob, man, do you really want to work at this place all the time, making $12 an hour? He's like, no, I don't want to do this. I'm like, are you in school? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, do you want to, what do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, don't you want to make money? Yeah, of course I want to make money. I want to be rich. I'm like, okay, well, why don't you start a business? He's like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, why not? And then he says, oh, because I don't want to do anything better for myself. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You want this, you want that, but you don't have it. And I'm starting to notice a pattern. The people who want money so much, the people who want this and that so much, never get it. The people who put plans into action and don't talk about what they want, they just start doing it every day. They start manifesting and putting that focus in every day. They get it. I have a friend, and this friend is well off. He's what you would call financially free. And I asked him a question, and if you are watching this stream, man, I appreciate you so much. You don't know how much respect I have for you. So thank you for everything you've done. I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, thank you. But he gave me some very good advice, and I wanna spread that advice here. And I truly believe it to be true because I've seen it in my life work. When I started, it's just simple examples. When I started in high school, starting to do something better for myself, he said the number one thing to get to where one's ideal life would be is consistency. And I believe that if you want something, if you truly want to acquire something, if you truly want, or not want, if you truly need something, it takes that drive of, you know what? Fuck how I feel. I gotta do it every day. I gotta do it every day until it happens. Something's going to happen if you really, really need it to happen. If you need it as much as you need to eat, you will get it. Because we are that powerful. We can manifest any world we want. Now, unless the world you manifest is a world that it's literally unacquirable, then you ain't gonna get it. But that's all up to you. I truly believe that in any situation you are in life, it doesn't matter the situation, it doesn't matter the predicament, it doesn't matter the circumstance. You can get anything if you truly believe you need it. You can get it, depending on what it is. I'm talking in terms of manifesting the life you want. Now, let's say if you are in a situation where you were in a shark accident and both your legs are gone, but you want to manifest a world where you have both legs. You're probably not going to get those legs back, but there may be an alternative. Maybe you want to get metal legs. Maybe you want to get a simulation implanted in your brain that makes you be able to have hover legs or something. Something's possible. Something's possible. So there's always an alternative to something that is close, or if not there. So if you truly need something as much as you need to eat, you have to stop looking at the feelings, stop looking at how you feel that day, and just do it. If you want to acquire a fit body, a six-pack, big arms, big muscles, big legs, then you know already what you have to do. If you don't feel like it on Monday, so what? Tear up. What I mean by tear up is get them muscles teared up, because that's the only way you're gonna grow. You see, the body's interesting. The body's muscles only grow when it feels the environment consistently demands it to grow. So it's like, if you don't tear up your muscles, if you don't put stress on your muscles, if you don't put trauma, physical trauma on your muscles, they're not gonna grow. They're not gonna grow. But if you do the work, if you have the consistency, if you have the drive, if you have the realization, you know what? Screw the feelings, let's just get it done. It's gonna grow. Why? Because the environment demands it to grow. Why? Because your mind demands it to grow. You can have any world you want, and I truly believe this because I see it. I see it in other people. And it's the same analogy I use. Someone amazing called a human built those roads and those cities. If you are a human too, why can't you do something just as amazing? It doesn't even make sense. You have everything you need to be the amazing person you desire in that mind. In that mind of yours, who is the ideal person? What is the ideal life? What is the ideal circle? What is the ideal hobby? What is the ideal activities that you have in your mind as to the person who you want to be? You cannot say, oh, because I don't want to do anything better for myself. That is BS. That is lazy and that is bad. What you need to do is you need to say, you know what? Screw the feelings and just get it done. If you have an oil change that needs to get done, but you're on the couch watching Five Nights at Freddy's, or not Five Nights at Freddy's, you're watching Friends on Netflix, screw that, get up, screw the feelings and get it done. Oh well. And you know, another thing what I noticed about emotions, it's energy emotion, but it only reacts to an event. So say for example, if you have a moment where you're experiencing, let's say you're in an experience where someone's getting robbed, right? Getting robbed, and that person may come after you. Let's say you're in a grocery store and the grocery store is getting robbed. You just happen to be in that grocery store. That person has a gun, he's screaming, everybody on the floor right now. Most likely the first emotion you're gonna have is fear. But what triggered the fear? An event. But here's the interesting thing about emotion. Emotions are not you. Whatever you is, and I'll get into that, you can say, you know what, I feel this fear. Hold on. I can control it. I can say, instead of fear, I'm going to feel joy. Instead of fear, I'm going to feel sadness. Instead of fear, I'm going to feel encouragement. Instead of fear, I'm going to feel courage. Instead of fear, I'm going to feel confidence. You can literally choose any emotion you want as long as you accept and understand and become notified of the emotion you're having right now, because every emotion is triggered based off an event. Your environment triggers your emotions. Your emotions are not you. You can literally choose. It's powerful. And really, it's energy in motion. But when you let that energy go rampant and you're not aware of the energy that's going rampant and it's just emotions everywhere, well, now you're like a ticking time bomb. Because this ticking time bomb is just ticking down the clock when another event will trigger another emotion. And that emotion will go for as long as you give it energy, for as long as you let it go rampant, for as long as you don't let it get notified by you, whoever that you is, whoever you are, whatever a you is, whatever I am is. You're gonna have to determine that. But you gotta realize an emotion is not you. So this lazy feeling that people have, so what? Accept the feeling. Well, first you got to become aware of it. Become aware of the feeling, accept it, and then remind yourself, you know what, this emotion is just a passing cloud. And then also tell yourself the alternative. What happens if I don't get this thing done and I let my emotions control me? What happens? If the outcome of what happens if you let your emotions win over you is not the ideal world that you want, then you have to say, fuck my emotions, and keep going. And I'm talking to the men here. Let me make that clear. I'm talking to the men here. I am not a female, so I cannot justify or tell any female how I believe they should live. I can only give an interpretation of my experiences based on my life and share what I think. Okay? And all of what I say on stream is only my opinions and my beliefs. Nothing I say is universally fact. Because at this point, I'm starting to realize that we really know nothing. We really know nothing. Everything is a belief. If you look at the sky, everyone believes it to be blue because everyone was marketed the idea of the color blue. But if you close your eyes, the sky is not blue. If you close your eyes and look at where the sky should be, it's not blue. It's black. But what if everyone was told, you know what, that's not the color blue, it's the color black. Now the sky becomes black. What if everyone was told the color, you know, that color is not blue, it's gold. Now the sky becomes gold. So it's like you really know nothing because everything is a belief. Think about it. Did my eyebrows grow? Oh, my eyebrows got bushier, bro. Like Rock Lee from Naruto. I'm like, okay. But you see, everything is based off of belief. So if you believe that your ideal world can be true, then it has to happen. It absolutely has to happen. But you have to work on it every day. And I believe that this is the way. This is the way. So for someone to say, oh, I don't want to do anything better for myself, that's not true. It can't be that. Everyone has to want to actually do better for themselves, but there's this force. I'm gonna call this force laziness or something else. There's probably other factors too. I think the main one is laziness. There's many other factors that stop you and put a blockade right in front of you, and that is stopping you from manifesting or doing whatever it is you want in life. I know, or rather not I know, I see that around me, people are not happy at a job that they want, that they are at for long periods of time, for their whole life probably, and they're told what to do, when to come, how to do it, blah blah blah. Basically, they are someone's slave, and whoever this someone is, will leave you to determine that. And you look on their face, they're not so jolly. Oh, hi, welcome to Costco. How may I help you? Like, they're not jolly. Hi, welcome to Costco's. How may I help you? Hi, welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you? I'm so happy. Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you? Like, they're not happy there. But why would people desire to stay in that? It can't be that you truly want to stay there. It can't be. Something's in you is blocking you from desiring, or not desiring, from getting that world that you want, from living that world that you want. You always have to want something better. You always have to want something better. Why? Because there always is something to do. There always is something to do that makes you better. So why would you settle for something that is nowhere near the world you want to live? Why? It has to be laziness. There's other factors, definitely, but laziness is the biggest reason. So I would say, for all the feelings that you get, oh, I don't feel like doing this. Oh, I don't feel like getting up. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow. Oh, I'll do this, that. Oh, well, who cares? You got crap to do. You got things to do. So it's like, if you constantly give into the feeling that, oh, I don't want to do anything better for myself, just like the young man said, if you constantly give into that, then you can literally only live a world a world where you don't do better for yourself. I mean, it's very simple. 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 = 2 always. It's like if you constantly focus on a world, or constantly focus on a thing, or constantly focus on an activity, and you give it that focus, and you keep giving it that focus every day, that consistency and that drive for it, then that is the world that you will manifest. That is the world that you will live in. But if you don't give your energy and focus to something that is what you want or what you desire, then you won't get it. You just simply won't get it, because 1 + 1 = 2. So what the hell are we doing? Why are young people saying that? How dare you? How dare you? What has happened to us? What has happened to us? That young? I was also there. Another young man, about 16, 17. type 2 diabetes and he's dying. What? And you guys won't believe what I heard him say. So let me tell y'all a little story. I have a lot of random experiences in life. And when it comes with young people, I'd say our children were messed up. And we have to be fixed. Not saying it's everybody. I'm simply saying and sharing an experience that happened in my life. But I know that if one person is saying it, it has to be more people saying it. Because that's just how this thing works. It was weird. My mic just turned off all of a sudden. Anyway, I'm doing my thing. And at the time, my task was to run food up 3 flights of stairs. I loved that. I honestly loved that. Any type of physical exercise, any type of physical challenge, I absolutely love it. So we have these big trays of food that we have to get up and down these 3 stairs. And I know that this life is temporary. I know that this life is temporary, but sometimes you have to do what you want. You have to do what you need to do to live in the world that you want to live. And I understand that now. But there was this young man, 16 years old, 17 years old. I don't even know how old he was. He had the same job. And he's a big dude. He's very fit. He's a big dude. And he had this patch, or this little injection patch looking thing on his arm. It was big. It was like so noticeable and big. I was like, hey, what's that, man? And he's like, oh, I have type 2 diabetes. And I'm like, really? How old are you? Well, I didn't ask him how old he was. I said, really? Why do you have type 2 diabetes? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just very sick, and I think I might die. And I asked him, hey, okay, do you want some help with that? And he's like, nah, I'll just figure it out on my own. And then after that, I said, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, let him die. I'm so serious. That's what I'm doing. Because if you don't want help, with your sickness or with your whatever is going on, if you don't want help, then you clearly want to go. You clearly want to go. So I'm like, okay. What is the problem? So it's like, if the problem truly is laziness, if the problem truly is you're paying too much attention to, oh, I don't feel like it today, I'll do it tomorrow, or blah, 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 blah. If you're paying too much to how you feel in terms of an event, but you're not realizing that at the end of the day, it still has to get done. If you constantly feel that and you constantly focus on that, then everything only gets done when you feel good about it. So it's like nothing gets done at that point. To be honest, I did not feel like coming on this stream. I just didn't feel like it today. I wanted to sleep. I wanted to sleep. I wanted to take a little nap, but I said no. I want to show up today. I'm going to do it. Regardless. Oh well. Still has to get done. Still have to come up, because at the end of the day, there is someone saying some words just like that young man did. And it needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed. So at the end of the day, if you don't get that oil change, if you say, you know, I don't feel like it, if you don't get it, then at the end of the day, eventually it's gonna cause problems. So you gotta do something, regardless of how you feel. And I'm talking to the men here. I have to keep reiterating that, because someone will get triggered. Someone always gets triggered. Always gets triggered. But I'm talking to the men here. I'm not talking to the women, because I'm not a woman. I can't speak for the woman. I can't. I can only speak for the men. So if you are having thoughts like, oh, I don't want to do better for myself. Oh, I just don't want to do it. So flippin' what? Oh, well, get the hell up. You have things to do. If you don't have, let's say, for example, the simplest thing you could do right now, if you don't have the body you want, if you don't have the type of results you want on your body or whatever, let's just say, for example, on Monday, grind time. On Tuesday, grind time. At Wednesday, grind time. Thursday, grind time. Friday, oh, my arms are hurting. So what? I'm saying from personal experience, it's improvement. Even oh, my arms are a little hurting. So what? Do something. Do something. Because at the end of the day, you can keep going and keep going. Why? Because your body is literally your mind's slave. Lift up your arm. Just lift it up. It's the simplest example. Your body does anything your mind wants. Anything. Whether it be temptation, whether it be addiction, whether it be drive to do something better, whether it be a drive to exercise, whether it be a drive to make money, whether it be a drive to make a business, whether it be drive to buy something, your mind will literally carry out every single command your mind wants. Or your body will carry out every command your mind wants. Lift up your arm. Who did that? Some electrical current going around in your brain, carrying out commands throughout your body, telling your arm to move its ligaments, move its arm muscles, move its shoulder, and everything that's happening inside of the mind. That's what told this arm to do that. Now, whoever you are, because you have the physical body, you have the mental body, and you have the spiritual body. Now, whoever the I am is, whoever the you are is, there's something in your mind that has the power over your physical body. So if you don't feel like it today, that's just energy in motion. But the thing about energy in motion, it's like a passing cloud that's eventually going to go away. It's just a passing cloud that's eventually going to go away. And that's how you have to look at these emotions. You have to look at them as literally passing clouds that's eventually just going to go away. So if it's eventually going to go away, that means it's not eternal. It's not something that can affect you forever. It can only affect you in the moment that it's there. That's it. But when it's gone, it's gone. You can only feel fear for as long as the event on the outside that is influencing that inner fear. You can only feel it in that moment. So what's the point? What's the point of letting it govern your life? And this is a very hard practice. A very hard practice that I think is an extremely hard thing to incorporate, but just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. Just because it's hard does not mean impossible. I really believe anything is possible because everything that I think of, I see it on the outside. If I want to buy a car, if I want to make $1 million, if I want to buy new stylish clothing, if I want to be a Twitch streamer, if I want to make a YouTube channel, if I want to build an app, if I want to buy a new phone, if I want to go outside and fly to the moon, whatever the moon is, if that thing is even real, you see it. You see other people doing it. And the analogy I always use, if someone on the outside, right? If someone built those roads and someone built those cities, it's called a human. Someone called a human did something just as amazing as that, and you are a human too. Then why can't you do something just as amazing? It doesn't even make sense. Are we not all human? Last time I checked, we all bleed red. We all have eyes. We all have nose. We all have lips. We all have these things they call fingers. We all have these arms and legs and everything that makes up a human. So are you a human? Yes! At least I hope so, unless you identify as a potato chip, which last video I had to identify myself as a potato chip because that was not working with what those people were talking about. With what those people were doing on spring break, I was not working with that. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, y'all gotta go on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, y'all gotta go to my past stream. If you're on YouTube, go to my past live. There's a video said, why are humans like this? And I just went deep into what happened at spring break and just a little bit of what the mentality is of a lot of these people on these social media sites. And at that video, I had to identify as a potato chip. So at this point, I am not even human. I can only be found in a Lay's bag. Not the ones with chips in it, but the one with only air in it. That's the only one you can find me in. But y'all definitely gotta go and watch that live because that one was a big one. It was a big one. But you see, everything that you want is truly acquirable. Why? If you don't believe it for yourself, just look around you. There's people who did it. There's people who did it. Ask them. That's what I had to do. The world I wanted to live in, I had to ask someone who was living that world. Turns out, I was already thinking the way that I needed to think. I was already thinking on the process. I already had the idea of what I needed to do. Turns out I was already on the right path. But you see, if you have a question, look to the people who are living the world you want and ask them questions. There has yet to be a time where I ask someone a question about what they do and they don't want to give me the answer. I think the people who you would call at the quote unquote top, or the people who are quote unquote well off or whatever, I think they are happy to help someone improve. They're happy to. Most of them. I can't speak for all of them because maybe there is that someone who, has it all and doesn't really want anybody to have anything else. But there are people out there who will help you. You have to try everybody's tactics because not everybody works. I listen to a lot of people. And I like to try their tactics. I like to try their things, but not everyone works. And if something doesn't work, then they're out. I only look at what works. So if you have a goal, or if you want to get to somewhere, ask and get guidance from the people who are there. Don't be lazy. Try it. If it doesn't work for you, move on to the next thing until something works. Something has to work. You have the regular life expectancy rate in America is 82. If you have, let's just say, for example, that's the time you're gonna live. You have all that time. Or rather, you don't have any time, because that's how I like to think. I like to think, okay, I don't have time. Because the more and more you program yourself to not have time, you start to realize that, okay, I gotta keep going forward. I'm trying to figure out a way onto programming my mind to always think I'm out of time. So what I literally did was I put my clock always ahead 20 minutes. So if I'm doing something, I always think I'm 20 minutes late. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm late. Gotta do this. So I'm always in a state where I'm like late. I'm late. Because I know tomorrow's not promised. And eventually it's gonna get to the point where I'm an hour late. Because I'm just gonna keep increasing the time. So I'm faster and faster. But I don't recommend everyone to do this. This is what I like to do. I like to program my mind to do things that aren't quote unquote normal, but I like to mess around with my mind. I like to write different programs because I like to think of my mind like an AI. Ever since I started to study computer programming, I started to understand that our brain works on if statements. If this, then that. So that's the programs I like to write. If this, then that. if this, then that. 1 + 1 = 2. It's all the same. Everything is math. Everything is 1 + 1 = 2. What is 1 + 1 = 2? Cause and effect. That's all it is. Everything is cause and effect. Just like a computer. Our mind is like a computer. It's a whole bunch of if statements. So I'm always thinking, look, I'm late. And I don't recommend everybody to do this. This is something that I'm trying out, and I'm not saying it works. I'm not saying it works, but I like to try different things. I'm constantly trying different techniques. I'm constantly trying different tactics. I'm constantly trying different strategies so that I can keep improving. Oh, my alarm wakes up at 6 a.m. Oh my gosh. It's 6:20 on my computer. I'm late. I gotta exercise. I gotta drink water. Oh my gosh, I'm late. Gotta do this, gotta make sure it's done. And for me, it seems like that makes me more motivated to get things done because I always think I'm 20 minutes late. Now, eventually it's gonna turn into 30, and eventually it's gonna turn into 40, eventually it's 50, 60, 70. Well, not 70, because there's only 60 minutes an hour. But eventually it's gonna get to that hour point. And I feel like that's when I'll probably stop. But you have to try something. You have to have some type of drive. You have to have some type of world. And what I was told to do was, if you want something, you have to, or not if you want something, if you want to become somebody, you have to literally write down what that person is and take the wisdom from your outside. So let's say if you want to become someone who's very muscular and strong, right? You want to have a six-pack, you want to have big muscles. Take inspirations, take aspirations from those people who have that world, take what they're saying, take their messages, put it in a book, and affirm it every day. And every time you go to sleep and every time you wake up, affirm it and become it every day by working on it. The universe doesn't give a crap about you if you say shit. No, it only gives a crap about you if you do. This is what I'm realizing. So all that law of attraction BS, let me not say BS. Let me not say BS. Let me not say BS. But instead what I will say is, I think we have interpreted the law of attraction wrong. From my personal belief, on my way of trying it, because people will say, oh, law of attraction says, if you just keep visualizing it and you keep thinking about it, it will happen. No. I don't believe this to be true. How I think it works is if you visualize something and you write it down, and the more and more your outer world can go into your inner senses, and you exercise that world every single day, then that world will become attracted to you and it will manifest. That's how I think it works. That's in the presently what I'm trying, because I'm always trying out something different, always trying out something new. And I always like to try out what people say. And if it doesn't work, then next, because something's got to work. Something has to work. So you have to be patient with that, and you can't be lazy. You can't be lazy. If you have a business to start, if you have anything you want to start, if you have something you want to do, if you want to become a Twitch streamer, if you want to become a YouTube streamer, if you want to draw a perfect circle, if you want to be an artist, if you want to make music, if you want to start a business where you sell flowers on pens, you take old flowers from like a flower shop that's throwing away their disrupted flowers, or you go to like weddings and you collect flowers, or you go to like corporate events and you collect flowers. You take their free flowers, you find a way to put it on cheap BIC pens, you market it out for $20 on Etsy, you put some fancy brand on it, you make it sound so good. Oh my God, this is the flower you need. Does your wife not have the most perfect pen that looks good in her hair, or the most perfect pen that does not fit in her hand? Boom, you put a flower that you got from these weddings, these free flowers that you got from these weddings or these free flower shop wherever, You put it on a cheap BIC pen. You spend about, what, $2 on a 40 pack? You sell it for $20 on Etsy? You have work to do. There's something you can do. There's something you can do that gets you a little bit closer to that ideal life. And you can't just focus on just the ideal life. You have to make a plan. And what I see is that you will get tests from the universe. You get tests. And what will happen is the more and more you work on it every day, but you have to work on it in silence, because the more and more you work on it in silence, then there is less outside negativity from the outside, because there's always something negative. And this has to happen because you can't have the positive without the negative, and you can't have the negative without the positive. The universe will put strategically haters or people who emit negative thoughts, and they may have your good intentions, but the thing is, negativity always springs up from a thought. So, well, not always, but sometimes the universe strategically puts these types of people in your life to test you. You have to be tested, because if you are not tested and you don't pass these tests, then you're not worth it to invest in. The universe is a business. It's not impersonal, it's a business. Everything is business. Everything. This is why a lot of people don't make it. There's nobody controlling us anymore. There's nobody. It's all us. At the end of the day, if you stop going to McDonald's, McDonald's will close down. That is proof that everything is on us. It's the same thing with this whole world we live in. They're doing nothing wrong. There's nobody controlling us anymore. It's us. We're enslaving our damn selves. Why? Because people don't want to do what they swear they want to do. This is why you gotta shut up sometimes. This is why you must shut up. You must work in silence. You can't tell people. You can't. Because until you've shown it to yourself that it's possible, then let your results speak. But sometimes, your closest people, eventually, they're gonna find out way sooner than you expect. Okay, well, fine. That's okay. But if that's the world that you really, really, really strive for, and really are convinced that that's what you need to do, then prove it to yourself. Don't prove it to someone else. Because at the end of the day, no one cares about you more than you care about you. There's no one on the planet. No one. And if you don't give a damn about yourself, then you're screwed. If you don't give a damn about yourself to get to that place, you're screwed. So it's time to start doing some action. We need action. We need plans. We need go time. We need to stop wasting time, because at the end of the day, you can go to sleep and never wake the hell up. So you need to do life like you're not gonna wake up tomorrow. This is why I put my time forward. I'm not saying you gotta do that. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm just saying that we need to start adopting a thinking where there is no time. There is no time to sit and lollygag. There really is none. You can't. And eventually, I'm going to do a video on explaining how to consume information way faster than a regular person. Because when I watch YouTube videos, or when I consume information, I watch it on times 2, times 3. And I was taught by someone extremely intelligent how to do that. And it works like wonders. And you start to really understand how powerful the mind is. And I start to see that it's the same with languages. Because when I'm speaking Spanish to people, I don't understand Spanish fluently. But what I do to understand a sentence and have a conversation is I started to realize that your mind will take out unimportant words and focus more on the important words. So it's like, but you need context. It's way easier to do it if you have context and you're in front of the person and you're talking, right? There has to be context. But it's like, for example, right? on Saturday. Depending on the context, you will be able to fill in, okay, he or she is saying, I went to church on Saturday, or I will go to church on Saturday. Depending on the context, you have your answer right there. You don't need to understand every word. And this is how powerful the mind is. But you can do the same thing if you go on YouTube. This is how I consume information. Like I said, you watch something on ×2, it sounds like to the regular person, but to you, it sounds like I church Saturday, and you have everything you need because your subconscious mind, eventually, the more and more you practice it, your subconscious mind will get to the point where it can fill in every single sentence so flippin' fast. It doesn't matter about the little words because your subconscious mind has all the information you need. You can read books just like that. You can read content just like that. We don't have time to waste. There's no time. There's no time. So it's like you gotta keep up the action. You gotta keep up the action. And what I will also recommend is cut out the distractions. If there is YouTube, or you find yourself on YouTube Shorts, or you find yourself on YouTube, or you find yourself on Instagram, TikTok, try and cut out the distractions. And especially people. People can be the biggest distraction in your life. They seriously can. And this is where it comes to a point where when you change your mindset and you have a goal and you have a certain mindset that you want to adopt, or you have a certain direction that you want to go, you have to start evaluating and putting the people who you call your friends on trial, because you have to start looking at who is putting me down, or who is distracting me, or who is bringing me forward, or who has a drive, who has stuff that they want to do. I currently I had to really look at who was in my circle. I had to look at who I call a friend. I had to look at who I give my energy to, and started to realize that the more and more I spend focusing on the world that I want to create instead of focusing on what other people want from me, is the more and more quicker I get there. How much time can you spend on the phone with someone else when you could have done 100 push-ups? Do you see? So it's like, what world do you want to live in? How are you going to get there? And how much time are you spending on it? It has to be consistent every day. Oh, I want big arms, but my arms hurt a little more. So the hell what? Get to it. Get to it. So what? Do something. It don't matter if your regular threshold is 50 push-ups, but my arms hurt. So what? Do 5. Do 10. Do something. You cannot give yourself that time, because at the end of the day, you might not wake up. People think, oh, we're gonna wake up all the time. No, you're not. You're not. So what the fuck are you being lazy for? Oh, I don't want to do anything better for myself. I should slap you. No. Get up there. Drop 200 right now. Get up there. I want to see you making $1 million a month. Get out there. Come on. We don't got time to sit around to be saying that. Oh, I don't want to do anything better for myself. Come on, Bob. You got work to do. This is for every man out there. You got work to do. Damn. That hurt my heart when he said that. I can't wait till I have kids. Oh man, gosh. I can't wait. I'm gonna have so much fun. They're gonna be fluent in 5 languages at the age of 7. That's just an example of how I want to instill in them. I know I'm gonna have kids anyway. But with that being said, I'm gonna end it off here for y'all. That was an amazing stream. Every time I come on the stream, I just love it. I absolutely love the stream. I love streaming. Absolutely love it. So, you guys, an absolutely amazing day. An absolutely amazing day. Keep grinding. Don't get lazy. You gotta do it anyway. Keep going. Don't get depressed and don't get sad, or if you do, use it as motivation to become legendary. Don't let the distractions hold you back. Just keep going. Become amazing. You got this. And if you have a question, or you need some help, or you need motivation, ask me. Or if you don't want to ask me, ask someone who is where you want to be. Ask someone who is living the experience that you want to have. Ask someone who you believe can help you. You guys can text me anywhere. Contact me anywhere on TikTok, Instagram. I don't give my Snapchat out because on Snapchat, every single day I get someone adding me, and it is not someone I want to talk to. Because that person is I don't even know if they're real people. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to keep grinding. So let's just leave it at that. So I hope everyone has a great day. I will see everyone. Oh wait, don't forget, y'all follow the Twitch stream, y'all follow the YouTube stream, baby. Y'all follow the TikTok, What's the TikTok, baby? This the TikTok, Noisy Fox. This the TikTok. Y'all follow the TikTok, y'all follow the Instagram. We got Instagram content on there too. Noisy_Fox. So, that being said, I'll see y'all in the next stream. Y'all have a beautiful day. Peace! Noisy Fox out.